Question of the day. What is your favorite nature game besides So Clover? Obviously, that's the #1 nature game of all time, right? You'll know what I'm talking about if you get it. But today we're taking a look at Life of the Amazonia, deep down in the Amazon River. That's not at all an appropriate accent. In fact, that's like Australian. It's not even the same continent. It's not even the same hemisphere, or the other way hemisphere, right? I don't know geography, but I know it's not. But today we're taking a look at a game all about bag building and living the life in Amazonia. Now, if you've played Serengeti, Wild Serengeti, you know that the Bad Comet games from the Kickstarter and then come to, whenever you can get them, look amazing on the table. This is no exception. I'm going to tell you that right now in the premium pre-thoughts. I don't know what you call it. The prior thoughts. Because this game is all about absolute gorgeous screen printed meeples. But sometimes when a Kickstarter game comes, is that enough? Is it enough to have just great components and a great content tray and then a wonderful waterfall of life? Does this game stack up to what it should be for the type of game that it purports itself to be? Now, that's a heady question, right? Because a lot of games can be asked that question, Frosthaven, Gloomhaven, all those sort of things. But does this one stack up? So we're going to take a look right now at a quick overview of how to play. Now, I'm just going to let you know right now, the overview is in media res. It means it's in the middle of play. It won't look like it does at the very beginning of play, but there's not that much difference other than our boards are already set and we've already taken a couple turns. But that doesn't really deter you from learning how to play the game. In fact, it actually is going to help you learn how to play the game more so. So let's take a look at Life of the Amazonia. Alright, so this is Life of the Amazonia in media res. And the reason I'm doing that is because I kind of want you to see how it's built out. Now, everyone will start with a starting tile down here, and you'll be putting trees and flowers and animals all on your board. We've got tamarins and woodpeckers and my special unique animal here, as well as caimans and macaws and giant otters, jaguars, toucans, leaf frogs, all these things. And it's pretty great. Like, this is a great looking game on the table, first of all. But the point of this is, it is a bag builder. Over there, there are chips that you can buy. Basically, there's 8 actions you can do. Let me give you a sweep of the board really quick of all the things that are important. That waterfall of life over there, while 3D doesn't have to be 3D, it looks great as 3D. But that is your tracks for, give me the cost. Let's see if I can move it over here without destroying it. It gives you the cost for certain actions. So in order to buy a new tile, wherever you are and wherever you're moving to, the new cost in leaf tokens. Same thing with the trees and leaf tokens, and the flowers are water tokens. And over here, you can advance your storage for how many you can keep between rounds of the bag building chips. And you'll move up that and you'll gain bonuses. Now, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to build out to score based on these animals. The main scoring mechanic is these different animals, and they all score different ways. Now, what's great is these are the same animals, but this is the A side. There's an A, B, C, D, and F side if we get the Kickstarter. The E side is something you could add your own. It's blank. But for instance, these are the most easy scoring. These are things like for each pair of tree and woodpecker adjacent to each other, score 4 points. Same thing with the frog there for each tree and, or excuse me, for each flower and frog. Now what's great is you'll notice that it tells you what type of terrain they have to be on, what the cost is for the animals, and then what the points are. And then you kind of look at that and build your game off of that. Now let's look back down here at mine specifically. You'll also start with a unique animal. You'll have to meet its requirements. So this one must be adjacent to 1 tree and 1 water, and it can go on a grass. Well, it's a 2-space animal, so it goes on a grass in any other color. Once you put that, you'll get its benefit, which means that when you buy trees and flowers, you get a 1 cost discount. Now, you're going to pull out 5 chips out of your bag. Now, again, we've already started, so we have more than the starter chips. So this is my starting hand. Well, that seed should not be in there. Seeds are basically a wild card 1. You can also trade in any 2 chips for a 1 of another type. Now here we have a 2 fruit, 2 money, and 4 flowers. Now the way it works is much like any bag builder. You can choose to do an action and you can do as much of that action as you want by paying the cost, but you can't split that cost. So let's say something cost 2 and 1, but they're different actions of a leaf. You couldn't say, well, I'm going to spend 2 of this and 1 of this on that and that. But you could say, I'm going to spend 4 leaves to move up 2 of the tree spots. So that's the only kind of tricky rule. You're allowed to keep 1 of these over to your next round, and then you'll draw 5 more until you bump your storage up, and you can keep 3 over. The money is used to buy new chips, and the costs are on these little trays here. It shows you how much it costs and what you get. These trays are very nice and very useful for storing. The other mechanic over here are these insect and scenery cards. Now the insects are instant bonuses, And they're things like immediately take a specialty tile, whereas these are usually in-game scoring. So if you have enough of those, you can only hold 4 scenery cards, but if you have enough of those, you can boost your in-game score. The 8 actions you can do would be purchase a resource token. That's where you get new tokens for your bag. You can purchase a terrain tile. That would be these here, adding to your terrain. And certain animals' habitats, which would be a connected line of a certain type of terrain, will score based on that. The jaguar itself, excuse me, the giant otter scores for each animal in its connected habitat. Then you have place an animal. That would be buying the animal here for the cost. Place a tree. That's buying the tree at the cost, buying the flower at the cost. Purchasing a nature card, purchasing an insect card, which those are the same ones, nature, scenery, and insects. You can then expand your storage or purchase a bonus. There are also bonuses you can purchase. You're going to be playing and putting and placing all of these things during your turn, and you will play your entire play area before you pass to the other person. So you can take as many actions as you can. Sometimes that's 1, sometimes that's 3. And then you'll pass to the other person. The game ends when 5 of these animals have been completely removed. Whoever finishes that first will get a 5-point chip token. Then you'll count points. You'll get points for where you are in the waterfall, points for each of your animals that score, points for your in-game scoring from your scenery bonus, and then any other certain types of points. But that's how you play Life in the Amazonia. It is a bag builder. When you need to draw more chips out and you have none, you'll dump from your little boat here back into your bag and then draw up to your requisite amount. So that's how you play Life in the Amazonia. So that is Life of the Amazonia. Now, first and foremost, as we always do on My Dice Tower reviews, we talk art direction, and then gameplay, and how those fuse together into some sort of wonderful numerical value at the end. Well, first of all, art-wise, this game is gorgeous. Now, what I love that it does that a lot of games choose not to do sometimes, and I'm okay with it in the case of like Ark Nova or Earth even, this game chooses to use like artistic paintings and drawings of the animals. To me, that's really great. Now, there's not that many animals. You've got 8 to start with, and really, well, those 8, and then the unique animals. But it does them in artistic ways, and each different scoring method has a different artistic style, which to me, that's really great. But then you have to look at the components. Okay, well, what does it look like on the table? Well, now, to be fair, I have the upgraded edition, which has wooden trees and wooden flowers. But even if you didn't have that, this game still has a really nice curb appeal, where people walk by the con and they go, whoa, what is that with all those animals and trees? It really has that nice like bite of, well, I gotta know what that is just because it looks great on the table. Plus the waterfall of life. And I mean, how many of the games have that, right? How many of the games have waterfall, period? Not to mention waterfall of life. Very few. But anyway, the game looks great. Top to bottom, from the cards, from what you do, everything looks just really, really good in this game. Now, I'm basing that on the base game too. Now, I know they're cardboard components in the original, even if the tokens you pull out of the bag, but even those look nice. Like, they just feel rich. Like, I would compare the component quality to like a Quedlinburg, if that makes sense. But then we talk about art direction. Well, the symbology is really easy because thankfully, all of the symbols you'll encounter, except for one that I've seen, are on here. And that one is some sort of thing where you do something else that's already done on the board. Now, you have to look it up because in the appendix, but thankfully, this reference card has everything you need on it with every single symbol, every single bonus. It's all on the back. Plus, all 8 actions are listed right here on the front. And I love that. And I love that because all 8 actions are really all that you can do during the game. That's all you need to know. So having a reference card that features everything is very nice. Now, gameplay. This is a bag builder. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I love Altiplano and Orleans. To me, those are great games. I love putting the chips in the bag and drawing them out. Like, to me, even though, I guess Jeff Engelstein can check me on this, but mathematically, a deck builder and a bag builder, kind of the same thing, give or take. I like a bag builder better, and this one does it really well. Like, you're reaching there, like, oh, come on, please pull out that. Oh, crud. Like, to me, that is such a cool mechanic because you're building your bag of, well, okay, I really need better green or I really need better blue. And the fact that you can find that in here is just, it's great. So, all in all, at the end of the day, it is a little bit of a point salad in the sense that you can choose to go for, different animals than other people. But at the end of the day, certain animals are definitely going to score better if you play them better. But this is a great game. Like, I absolutely adore this game. Like, I liked Wild Serengeti a whole lot. I thought it was a really cool concept. I love this game. I think this is a like, it's on par to fight with Altiplano and Orleans, like, to be the best bag builder game there is. And that's saying something, because both of those games are really well thought out. They're really well done. But this is so much fun to play. The art is fantastic. The components are amazing. If you can get your hands on Life of the Amazonia, or Life of the Amazonia, I mess it up either time. This is a fantastic game, and I highly, highly recommend it. It's easy to understand, but if you're playing against somebody who knows the game, you're going to get smoked. So it kind of challenges you to do better each time, which to me, that's a huge thing, because you don't, okay, so I lost by 60 points the last time I played, right? That seems like a huge deficit, but then again, I go, oh, I see what I did, right? So it teaches you kind of like, okay, how can I be better at my gameplay? And this is one of those games that really just is so much fun. All of the things matter, you know, placing your tiles out matters, placing your trees out matter. Make sure you put your trees with animals that points off, or score points based on those, and the tree frogs and the flowers and all that. It's just such a well thought out game. Like, there's no really loose ends. I will say the beginning terms seem to be a little slower and a little less action packed than the later turns, but that's any bag builder, right? You can't do anything really at the beginning. But then again, everything is scaled to cost. So the earlier tiles, trees, and flowers are cheaper. So to me, this is a fantastic game. I give it an 8 out of 10. It is a beautiful game. It's a fun game. I love this game. It's literally staying on my Jasper right here so that we can continue playing it even after the review's done. And that's high praise, because sometimes when we finish a review, we're like, I'm done with that game. That's not going to happen with this one. This is a fantastic game, so get your hands on Life of the Amazonia from Bad Comet Games. I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, etc. And also make sure to check out the Dice Tower merch store, because we just put up the new 8-Bit Tom. He's throwing a hammer like he would. T-shirt on there, so you can get your pre-orders in. We're pre-ordering those right now, and we'll cut that off and then eventually start shipping those in September or so. So hope to have those out to you soon. But I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. We'll see you next time.